Alright DVW fam, we have a very exciting video for you guys today. As you guys can see, we are in Barcelona, Spain right now, and we have a very special guest with us, Laura from Laura Tours Barcelona. She's a professional tour guide here. She has her own tour company and she's really big on social media. She posts all about Barcelona. So in this video, I'm gonna let her tell you what we're about to do actually.
Well guys, we are going to be hosting you in this wonderful city, and I'm going to take you to the best landmarks like this one, and we will see many others, as well as fantastic and delicious food, because Barcelona is very well known for that, Dan.
All right, so there you have it. We're gonna see some of the top sites. So,
Vamos!
You ready?
Come with us.
Let's go. Guys. Alright guys, so with a guided tour, you get a lot of great information about things that you might not know about. Like I walked on the street and saw that building a couple times yesterday, but I had no idea why people were gawking at it. So Laura here will, give us her spiel on this building right here because it looks really cool, and I want to know why.
Well, this building was designed by Antoni Gaudí, the famous architect of Barcelona. And this is a house that was owned by a very rich family, the Casa Milà. That's why it's known as the Casa Milà, because the family Milà lived in here. But, guys, all these houses along this neighborhood are very particular because the owners would live on the second floor, and the upper levels, the upper apartments, would be divided into 2-3 apartments to rent to other families. So they would live, guys, in an apartment of 1,300 square meters, which would be 4,000 feet, more or less, yeah? And Gaudí was completely inspired by nature. Look at the undulating facade. It looks like a cliff in the middle of Barcelona, and it's like the water splashing. Look at the ironwork, it's just unbelievable. And it was built from scratch just in 6 years, from 1906 to 1912.
Wow. So there you have it. Obviously, Laura has a book of knowledge up here and she could tell you way more stuff about everything, but we're gonna do a quick run on all these places because you're gonna have to come here yourself and hear it from the horse's mouth. So on to our next spot. Let's go.
Vamos.
Walking and I was looking at these buildings and they're apartment buildings, right? I asked her if people actually live in there and Laura told me like 4 people actually live in there.
Yes, that's right. And actually this belongs to a bank, but they could not kick these people out from their home. They have a very old rental agreement. Normally back then, the rental agreements would be for generations. So when they die, that will be over. And this is when the bank will completely own the properties.
That's crazy. So 4 people live in this huge building. They basically live in like a UNESCO heritage site.
Yes, 300 square meters of apartment each.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So guys, we are in Passeig de Gràcia. Passeig is in Catalan, or we can say also Paseo de Gracia in Spanish. And this became the favorite street of the upper class. When they demolished the walls that were surrounding the old town in Barcelona, the wealthiest families that made so much money thanks to the textile trade, they moved up to here. And what they loved the most was to show off how wealthy they were. And they did it by hiring the best architects available at the time.
Yeah guys, just walking around the street, it's just really nice, clean, and there's luxurious stores like Dior, Chanel, Bulgari everywhere.
Yes, I always say that it would be equivalent to Les Champs-Élysées in Paris or the 5th Avenue of New York.
Yeah. So we're at some more really cool houses on this whole street right here. I feel like this whole street is lined with beautiful houses. Can you let us know about what we're seeing here?
Absolutely. Behind us, we have what we call the block of the discord or discontent, because we have 3 wealthy families that hired the 3 best architects from the Catalan Art Nouveau. And they were competing against each other, not only the architects, but also the families. And all these were already existing buildings. Like the Casa Batlló looked very simple and boring. And when Mr. Batlló bought it and saw his neighbor's facade, thought that it was too boring to be like that, so he hired Gaudí and he did a Gaudinization by restoring the facade, the interior, and he added 2 more stories.
Dang. So from what I'm understanding is that back then they used to really like to flex on their neighbors, and so they hired Gaudí, and then he would do that. So Virgil Abloh is the modern day Gaudí, with like, you know, taking houses, designs, and flipping them and making them really, really cool.
Exactly, but you have to think that not everybody liked Gaudí. Actually, the Casa Milà is known as La Pedrera, which means the quarry. The Casa Batlló, is known as the House of Bones. Most of the working class did not appreciate Gaudí's design, only the wealthy families, because they couldn't understand it. So they have derogative nicknames.
Guys, these Gaudí designed buildings look even crazier up close. Look at this. So much detail just in the building and the art. Crazy.
So one of the things you shouldn't miss when in Barcelona and Passeig de Gràcia is to enter inside the Casa Ametller. At the back you will find a cafe and a chocolate shop where you can get some chocolate samples.
Yeah, and these are some of the best houses that were built in that period. So like the architecture in here is amazing, just like how it is on the outside. So really recommend you guys, you know, take a stroll inside and just admire the architecture. This is actually the kitchen of this house, but they turned it into an eating area for us.
This is the 3rd house, Casa Lleó i Morera, built by Lluís Domènech i Montaner. You might not remember his name, but he was even more appreciated than Gaudí when both were alive. He's also known for being the architect of the Hospital Sant Pau and Palau de la Música Catalana, which are UNESCO sites.
All right, there you have it. These are the 3 must-see houses and sites on this street. Everybody is congregated at the Guell one, but you can't miss any of these. All 3 of these are really magnificent. So, yeah. If you guys want less crowds, I guess go to the one furthest to the left, right here. Yeah, fun tip.
So Dan, when you look at the Eixample neighborhood, can you see that all the corners are cut off in diagonal? They are octagonal blocks.
Yeah, I noticed that right when I stepped in here. It was actually really cool.
Yeah, so it's very important to understand that the mode of transportation at the time was the tramway. So in order to allow them to turn much better, the corners, they cut them in diagonal. They designed them like this to allow them to turn. And also, the light comes in nicely and the ventilation.
Yeah. So to me, I just thought it was really cool architecture and design, but it's for a purpose back then. So that's a really cool fun fact. And also Laura here has a map from above, which I'm sure you guys have seen, you know, the clip of above. I wish I had a drone to show you guys, but all these neighborhoods are really like stacked into really neat corners, blocks, squares, and it's really cool. We'll show you right now. So also here on Passeig de Gràcia, we pass this little alley and it's called El Nacional, and it's the biggest food court in Barcelona. So I know you foodies love to eat, but it's closed till noon and we have so many things to do today. Can't make it, but till next time. Guys, so Laura's telling me that this is the biggest shopping mall in Barcelona. El Corte Inglés right here. Plaza de Catalonia.
The way I like to describe Plaza de Catalonia is by saying that it's an egg. So this is the egg yolk, yeah? And then we have the old town and the new section of the city, the Eixample, which would be the egg white. So Barcelona is really like an egg, and we are in the heart of the city at the moment.
All right, we made it to the center of Plaza Catalonia, the center of Barcelona, guys. If you notice here, there's a bunch of pigeons all around because I think you're actually able to feed them. So there's a bunch of people feeding them, and this looks like a pigeon square. Look at this, they're everywhere.
One of the things in Barcelona is that you can get to all the rooftops for free.
Really?
Sí.
No way. The Plaza España, one of the main areas. It's to see the central part of Barcelona right here at night. All right, we're in one of the busiest and one of the most visited places in Barcelona called Las Ramblas. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews from this place, whether to visit it or not. And yeah, so Laura will actually tell you why.
Well, I have to say, most locals try to avoid La Ramblas or La Rambla, both ways are correct. And I have to say that there are a lot of tourist traps. If you're a first-time visitor in Barcelona, you definitely have to come and just have a little stroll around. But do not go to the restaurants, don't sit in La Rambla to have a drink or a paella because it will be frozen, pre-made, it will not be fresh, so expensive. If I won't do it, why would you?
Why do a lot of tourists come here? Because as you guys can see, it is heavily concentrated with foot traffic right now.
Well, because it's a beautiful pedestrian street that takes you down the water. It's crossing the whole city, the old town, especially from Plaza de Catalonia all the way to the harbor, the old port, where Christopher Columbus statue is located. And there are lots of shops, most of them souvenir shops, and lots of chains as well. So I like the Rambla, but I would just stroll around.
All right, so we're on the street because we're actually going to one of the most popular markets here. So yeah,
yes,
we're gonna see that soon. Let's go. Okay, well there's a pretty nice looking church you can see in Las Ramblas right here.
Guys, we are at the moment at the Boqueria market. It's the most famous market in Spain. The food is beautifully displayed. It's paradise for the senses. And you know their slogan, if it's edible, we have it. That means that you can find food from all over the world.
Gracias.
Thank you. 5 euros, sir.
Cheers. 5 euros. What is this? I just saw a guy pooping on the side of the street.
I know it can be confusing for many people. So this is a Catalan figure made of terracotta, and you know where we put it? We put it in the nativity.
Oh, okay.
So kids, whenever they see a nativity scene, they don't care about Jesus. They want to see where the pooper is located. It's normally hidden. And what he's doing is a Catalan guy fertilizing the earth. It's a good wish for agriculture, but that's something more to add to this, and this is that you can be poor, you can be rich, you will end up like this. So we have a sentence in Catalonia that says, the Pope poops, the King poops, and nobody escapes from pooping.
Awesome. So apparently we are in the chocolate street right now. Also, Laura was telling me that this is a really old store from 1911 or something like that. And if you see a really old store or establishment, there's a plaque right here that will tell you that it's really old. And this one says 1911. So as you guys can see, the architecture and buildings kind of changed a little bit. We're in the Gothic quarter right now, and Barcelona is just littered with nice architecture and just churches. So this is Basilica del Pi right here. So see a little bit of everything walking around the main areas of Barcelona. Yep, another church here in the Gothic quarter. This whole city and every city I've been in Spain has been littered with beautiful architecture and churches.
Guys, we are in Plaza San Jaume, St. James's Square, and behind me is the City Hall of Barcelona, and on the opposite side we have the government that rules the whole region, the whole Catalonia. And on the facade we can see a statue of St. George killing a dragon. St. George is Catalonia's patron saint.
A lot of Catalonian flags all around.
Ready?
Wow, look at that. Guys, that was probably one of the better escalator rides that I've been on, because you get to the top and you see all that right there. Sagrada Familia. Let's get it. When you guys have a professional tour guide, they take you to, you know, the best photo ops, but I would call it hidden gem, but not really. Everybody's here, so you kind of got to wait in line. But of course, that's expected at, you know, such a great site like this. All right, guys, I've only seen these sites in pictures, movies. It's crazy because it's one of those places where You know, wasn't really on my list, but everybody talks about it. Kind of like the Eiffel Tower or like the Great Wall of China. It's just like one of those things you got to see.
The Colosseum in Rome.
Yeah, and then you would think that it'd be like overrated just because of how many people talk about it, how many people visit. But then when you get close to it, you're really in awe. Like how I am right now. I'm looking at it right now, and oh my god,
it's pretty amazing.
I really can't believe it. It's amazing. Like every detail in there, I just can't believe it. Like, so Laura was telling me how this part is done by Gaudi, and honestly, I think Gaudi is one of my favorite artists now. Gaudi's architecture is honestly amazing.
It's amazing. We are facing the Nativity facade right now. Can you see that this side is darker than this one here? This is the only part finished by Gaudi while he was alive, and this is the section that was declared a UNESCO site. The Nativity is facing east where the sun rises because it describes of the birth of Jesus. And basically, Sagrada Familia means the sacred family, the Holy Family Church. And by the way, do you know when it's going to be done? We always wanted 2026 to be the final date because that would be the centennial of Gaudi's death. He died in 1926. But because of COVID, we reckon it's going to be around 2030.
Yeah, so you're talking about it's a work in progress, and I see a lot of cranes up there. So you said it'd be done in 2030, but when did it start, you know, construction?
Guys, it started back in 1882, and Gaudi was not the first architect. He took over in 1883 and changed the whole
1882?
project. Yes.
This thing has been working since 1882? That's crazy.
Yes, you can see from there a little bit. A little bit.
So this is a replica of the Sagrada Familia. The gray is what's finished and the orange is what is to come.
This is the Nativity facade that represents the birth of Jesus. Opposite to this one, we will see the Passion facing the west, which represents the death of Jesus. And over there is going to be the main entry. This is one of the side doors of the Sagrada Familia. And we will have 12 bell towers, so 4 in the Nativity, 4 in the Passion, and 4 in the Glory, representing the 12 apostles. 1 on the back above the apse for Mary. 4 for the 4 evangelists, Mark, Luke, John, and Matthew. And the one in the center, that's going to be the tallest, is going to be the one for Jesus Christ. But if you notice on the top, there are these white sculptures that they look newer than the rest. And they were resculpted by a Japanese sculptor because they were destroyed during the Civil War, and he resculpted them with Asian eyes. He was inspired by his daughters. They are Japanese, actually.
So if you're in any high part of Barcelona, you can see this almost anywhere in the city, but I am right under it right now, and it is crazy. The closer you get, the smaller you feel. You almost feel insignificant because look at all the detail in this piece of art, guys. Insane.
Are you ready to see the most impressive moment of the Sagrada Familia visit? Come with me.
Don't gotta ask me twice. Born ready, let's do it. Honestly, guys, I'm speechless. That's the word I'll give you guys here. I'm at a loss for words. Just being in here, looking at every detail, the work of art, and just all the effort and details that Gaudi put into this basilica is jaw-dropping. So I'm just gonna let the video speak for itself because there's not enough words I could say to describe this magnificence right here. Crazy.
The crypt is under the altar, and this is where all the masses take place daily. There's masses every day, communions, weddings, baptisms, and the first funeral was actually for Antoni Gaudí, who's buried there under the crypt of Sagrada Familia.
Wow, very appropriate.
Once completed, the Sagrada Familia is going to become the highest church on earth.
Wow. How many people visit a day?
So there are available 15,000 tickets a day to visit Sagrada Familia, And last year, 3.7 million visited this church, which makes it one of the most visited monuments in Spain, as well as the Alhambra in Granada. But we are, one year is Sagrada Familia, another year is La Alhambra, so we are there. So we host Mass every single weekend, every Sunday. There's Mass at 9 a.m. It lasts 1 hour. It's free for everybody.
All right, we're in the main square of the Park Güell. This is the artwork, guys. All these benches right here that people are sitting on, it's kind of like a trip because this is the art piece itself. And when you go to any other museum, there's like ropes around them saying, don't touch. They make you wear your backpack in the front so you don't knock anything down. But here, everybody's sitting on the art itself. Basically, this art is somewhat inspired by Gaudi, which is a very famous Catalonian artist. But yeah, guys, his art is obviously appreciated by many people, and this is Park Güell. Let's check it out. Let's get some photos. Good luck trying to get a photo, guys. Look at this. Area of the Park Güell, probably what you guys see in Instagram photos and videos, what I envision too. But as you guys see, there's a lot of tourists, but way more than I thought there would be, because they do a pretty good job managing who comes in and out. And like I said, pro tip, buy your tickets before, because when I got to the gate, it was sold out. I bought mine in advance online. I learned that that's the way to go in Spain with all the popular events and monuments, museums. Buy your ticket in advance. But this is the Park Güell. Everyone is trying to enjoy this little piece of Barcelona, arguably the most popular tourist destination here, first or second, compared to Sagrada Familia, which is that huge cathedral right there, which you could see from the Park Güell. So yeah, let's go enter the lines then and check it out firsthand. Let's go. These things have been clutch all over Spain. The hydration stations right here, they also look really cool as well. I left my bottle behind, but I almost like waterboarded myself drinking it from this fountain. But definitely stay hydrated out here in Barcelona. It's hot. Sidebar, this has to be the most expensive bench I've sat on. 10 euros per person. I read somewhere that it's 3,000 people per day visit this. So let's do the math, guys. Insane, ridiculous. As you guys can see, the 10 euros does not just cover, that square right there of the main, Park Güell benches, but this whole thing is Park Güell, and there's, touches of art all around this park. It was really cool. One of my favorite areas right there. It kind of looked like T-Rex dinosaur teeth. Tell me if you guys thought the same, but we're gonna explore a little bit of Park Güell right now, guys. I kid you not. Steps must be part of like Barcelona culture or something, because there's steps everywhere. Man, it's like a stairmaster walking around Catalonia and Barcelona, guys. Super hilly, but it's rewarding because with all those hills, you get views like this. Look at that. More steps, guys. Stepping on them, big steppers. Oh. All right, got to the top. It's like a little trail right here. Look at these views, guys. They should rename this to Hike Güell though, because I'm doing a lot of hiking here. not enough parking. I don't know if you guys see the Sagrada Familia right there. I found a cozy little corner at my park well right here. You know how earlier I said I was tripping me out that like people are actually, you know, on the art that, you know, some people want to like admire, look at, or even, you know, film. I actually think it adds to the art, you know, the people, you know, on it, because I mean, that's essentially what it is. We're at a park, this is a bench. So yeah, this is the park well, and actually really enjoy just walking around, looking at all the different patterns on the bench. So really cool spot. DVW score 8.2 out of 10. Got some fire picks. So let's see more of Barcelona. Let's go. This is pretty cool, and this is underneath the benches right here with all these columns right here. Crazy, ridiculous. Look at this, so much detail in like every little crevice and angle in the park well. Gaudi architecture, underrated for real.
Yes, there is. And then you edit, so... Y Kevin también, los con Víctor hicieron la lista.
These houses are actually really cool right here. I think you can go inside too. There's some people in there. They kind of resemble gingerbread houses in my opinion. Let me know if I'm tripping or if you guys think the same. But yeah guys, a lot of cool things to see in the park well. So much detail. It's pretty cool. Had a fun time touring this place. Definitely recommend in Barcelona. Alright, another really impressive site you guys can visit in Barcelona is the Arc de Triomf. I feel like there's a lot of these all over Europe. One of the most famous ones being in Paris. I've been to that one. That one has way more traffic, but pretty similar, but this one's unique because it's red. I don't think I've seen a red Arc de Triomf before, or orange is red. Looks like brick. Pretty cool. Alright, right behind the Arc de Triomf, there's this huge alley lined with palm trees, and if you go all the way down there, it leads you to the beach. Unfortunately, guys, my time here is limited. I have so many things I want to do. Only 48 hours here, a little bit less than that actually. But I would like to go to the beach. That's probably one of the best things you guys could do in Barcelona as well. But we won't have time for that. But if you take this road all the way down, you'll see some pretty nice waters. So I was right. It looks like bricks to me. All right, so had a great day touring Barcelona with Laura here. She showed me all the best little bits and pieces of her city. And like I said, she has her own tour group. How about you tell them exactly where they can find you to do a great tour just like we did today?
You can find me on Instagram for more content like this. I'm Laura Tours Barcelona, or you can visit my website at www.lauratoursbarcelona.com, and I can guide you in Barcelona. I can host you anytime and make it memorable.
Yeah, and I'll drop our links down below, but what more appropriate place could we end this vlog than at the backside of the Sagrada Familia?
Yes.
The back facade, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, guys, this is beautiful.
Thank you so much for watching.
Yep, we had a great day. Thanks,
Yes,
Laura, for
my pleasure.
the DVW fam. So yeah, until next time, that's Barcelona for you guys.
Adios.
All
Bye.
right. So, all right, guys, if you guys like this video, please like it. Comment down below if you have any suggestions for us, and subscribe for more DVW travel vlogs. Deuces.